Hey everyone, and today you are on the BookPick channel and I am launching a new video format. I was sitting and thinking, what interesting thing to film, and an idea came to me. I fell in love with reading after I wanted to read a book that was written based on a movie that I liked. What if I make a video that helps people discover interesting books worth their attention? Brew some tea, grab a candy, and let's dive into the most intense battle of all time: books with movies. Before we begin, I want to add that this video will not feature such popular book series like Harry Potter or Twilight. This is because I primarily want to draw your attention to books and movies that haven't received enough recognition. Now we can start. I want to begin with a book whose screen adaptation probably everyone has seen. It's Frankenstein or the Modern Prometheus. I wonder if everyone knows the full title of this novel. Write in the comments, because I didn't know. Yes, I know there are countless interpretations, and the story of the mad scientist who creates a monster has become a canon of many films, but here I want to address everyone. The story you are used to hearing is different from the original. It's hard to describe what the author wants to convey. It's a story about pain, rejection, hope, downfall, and also about the consequences of scientific progress and what happens when a person tries to play God. Perhaps it's too familiar, a story that was written a long time ago. I believe that quotes help best in understanding the atmosphere of a book. I expected this reception, said the demon. All men hate the wretched, how then must I be hated, who am miserable beyond all living things? Yet you, my creator, detest and spurn me, the creature to whom thou art bound by ties only dissolvable by the annihilation of one of us. Regarding the movie, I watched the adaptation titled Victor Frankenstein. This movie is great, but again, it's only loosely based on a book. I also watched the adaptation titled Mary Shelley, which is a biography of the author. So this film inspired me to read this novel, and I give it 5 out of 5 stars. As for Victor Frankenstein, I think 4 out of 5 because for me book was much more atmospheric and conveyed demon's feeling better. In the first round the book win. Because I gave it 5 out of 5 stars, personally I think book better realized the idea than film. And the next book is small in size, but it makes you ponder just how cruel society can be. And that book is The Boy in the Striped Pajama. As stated in the annotation, it's better not to know what it's about before reading. The only thing I will say is that it's a story about a 9-year-old boy named Bruno who encounters a barbed wire fence. You need time to recover from this book, so keep that in mind when you decide to read it. The situation with this book is quite interesting, perhaps because it is small, but the film and the book are very similar. Therefore, I give both a 5 out of 5 stars. Let's move away from such a heavy topic and switch to something lighter. The next book is probably one that makes you dive into a fairy tale. That is The School for Good and Evil. In the forest of primeval, a school for good and evil, 2 towers like twin heads, one for the poor and one for the wicked. Try to escape, you will always fail. The only way out is through a fairy tale. Will I want to read it again? Absolutely. It's a special fairy tale. I loved it so much. Just imagine, I even bought the last part in another language to read it faster. It's a little crazy, maybe. The first kidnapping happens 200 years before. Some years it was 2 boys taken, some years 2 girls, sometimes one of each. But if at first the choice seemed random, soon the pattern became clear. One was always beautiful and good, the child every parent wanted as their own. The other was homely and odd, an outcast from birth, an opposing pair, plucked from youth and spirited away. 4 years have passed since the director of the School for Good and Evil last kidnapped two children from Gavaldon. Now he will come again, in the form of a shadow, to take new students. Will he succeed in the abduction, given that the villagers are determined to stop him? Whom will he choose this time for the school? This book is positive, cool and kind. It also takes you back to the world of your favorite fairy tales. By the way, attention, this is a book series which includes 6 books. 6. Well, let's move on to the movie. I'm just kidding. Actually, the movie is also good. Also, many didn't like it. I will say that it's not bad. It's not very bad. If I'm being seriously, the movie helped me recall many moments, but I still recommended reading the book. So I give the film 3.5 stars, but the book deserves 5 out of 5. The next story is probably known to many. It's Me Before You by Jojo Moyes. By the way, it's a series which includes 3 parts, and I should take the time to read what happens next, but it's not necessary because the book can easily stand alone. This is a love story that teaches us many things. First of all, to live life to the fullest, to explore the world and to step out of our comfort zones. Love changes people, and in this book it does so for the better. It's a touching story about love against all odds, about a small life and a great hope that can withstand any blows of fate. The movie Me Before You missed a lot of details, moments, dialogues that we didn't see, but as just an adaptation, I also give it 5 out of 5 stars, just like the book, because the movie did its best, but I still recommend trying to read the book, because there you will find many more moments. Fantasy, Life and Time. This is a mysterious story that is unique in its kind. I have never seen or read anything like it before. And it's The Time Traveler's Wife by Audrey Niffenegger. This is the extraordinary love story of Claire and Henry, who met when Claire was 6 and Henry was 36, and were married when Claire was 22 and Henry was 30. Impossible but true, because Henry suffers from a rare condition where his genetic clocks periodically reset and he finds himself pulled suddenly into his past or future. In the face of this force, they can neither prevent nor control. Henry and Claire struggle to lead normal lives is both intensely moving and entirely unforgettable. The film adaptation for me is also absolutely fantastic. I will give it 5 out of 5 stars because it delivered on all fronts, captured all emotions and made me feel all pains. Therefore, in this round, both the film and the book get a point. And the last book I have said as a treat is Pride and Prejudice by Jane Austen. Mr. Bennet, owner of the Longbourn estate in Hertfordshire, has 5 daughters, but his property is entailed and can only be passed to a male heir. His wife also lacks in inheritance, so his family faces becoming poor upon his death. Thus, it is imperative that at least one of the daughters marry well to support the others. The Pride of high-ranking Mr. Darcy and the Prejudice of middle-class Elizabeth Bennet conduct an absorbing dance through the rigid social hierarchies of early 19th century England, with the passion of the two unlucky lovers growing as their union seems ever more improbable. Well, first of all, this is a well-known story that almost everyone knows about. So many years have passed, but Mr. Darcy is still the ideal man among women. I think it's truly a timeless romance. Regarding the adaptations, there are so many. I watched 2, one in German and one in my native language. Personally, I liked more recent. In my opinion, the actors were perfectly cast in that adaptation. The movie is great, and again, I can say they really put effort into it, and everything the screenwriter wanted to convey was conveyed. I recommended watching the adaptation, but don't forget to read book too, because it gives you more beautiful and enjoyable moments that you will definitely like. In this round, both the book and the adaptation get a point, and the score is 6-4 in favor of the books. By the way, the gap is quite small. Today's episode is very interesting. I thought when I started filming that the books would definitely win 100%, but you know, there are really great films too. Of course, they aren't as detailed, but you can see that people really put effort into them, and that's really cool. Write in the comments how you like this video format. If I should, I make more videos like this. And it's all for now. Give a like, subscribe to the channel, and don't forget to click the bell to get notifications about new videos. See you again!